Yakayayay Satini Wasayiyati Yuhan. How are you guys?
Yake.
Place
Yake.
wasa.
Yake. Kad ko a California Yachad Yatia Yidat Kakunakaya Kuat it's hot.
Oh, you poor Ishan. Ishan. Oh. My heart cries for you.
What part of California are you in?
I'm in Palm Springs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Palm Springs once and I immediately knew I didn't belong there. My goodness. Their everyday dress, I think, were like $300 dresses or something.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
here I was with my polyester pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm not sure how to dress because it's like 110 degrees out.
yeah.
Oh, that's really hot.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Today in the hallway, I heard someone say, "Oh, 96 degrees. That's a nice temperature." And I was like, "What? For who?"
For an ice cube.
When I was living in Idaho, we had in the summer 103 just for days and days and days.
Wow.
Finally, the temperature went down to 101, and we all went, "Ugh, finally, it's lower."
Yeah.
Noticed it right away to 3 to 101.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot. So Shirley said you guys all had a good class on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. It
Good.
was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many do we have?
We have, including me and you and Corey, we have 9.
Okay. To finish up the discussion from Tuesday, it kind of got my memory going. And of course, I know today that I think even at the beginning that divorce, where you have to go to court and things are divided and all the paperwork is depends on your church. Those were the things that took control over the chiefs and over the status that we had. But it did bring up a memory of really a vague memory of discussion that I think I heard, and it was something I think my parents kind of kept from me about a Tlingit style divorce from the old days, that it did happen. But that's all I can remember. How it happened or what they did, I don't know. I did hear from somebody else that their grandparents got a divorce and they sat and talked about it, and both sides had to agree on going through with it as a Tlingit style divorce. So, yeah, it did. I think it was so seldom that it's not a real big part of the history, but it did happen. I think it did happen. So that's all I can
Fish.
tell you.
This is Kua. That makes sense because I was the one that asked you about that.
Yeah.
My grandmother's dad was one of the church people in Saint Michael's, and our family helped to build that church. So maybe that's where it came from. That she waited until he passed away, and then the day after she got a divorce. Maybe that's why he
I
was
think
he was
pretty
kind
much,
of higher in the church there. So maybe she didn't want to shame him. Maybe.
yeah, I think the missionaries uh, worked real hard with the natives about a lot of different things like that. So, um, so it depends on the church that you're in. I would say pretty much there, because I think there's some churches that don't allow it at all.
Mm.
But I don't know that much about that either.
Goodness, Chiefs, for the follow up. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got real interested in it because I thought, well, the modern day it's really evident. But then it kind of brought up the memory of something way back that happened. So, but I can't bring it up, so I don't know. I might have overheard some women visiting, talking about old ancestors. uh, in regards to the naming ceremony, so is the individuals that wanted to be named, are they here today?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
No, I could have come and got you and taken you to the store.
Yeah, they're here, Shirley.
Yeah. Yeah. The ceremony, if you already have a name that you want to use, that's fine. You have to realize that we're do play acting for this, so it's not a legal, a real event. But I think with the approval of your clan or of a clan member, you can start using it as your name for talking about yourself. So the ceremony is is the name is developed or designed to fit the person, with people getting together to decide, or family members to help with that, or you might already be considering another name. So the it is done very publicly. Uh, Otherwise, it's not legal, according to Lingit ways. So they would bring the person out, or individuals. It can be done with more than one person. You can have two people get a name. So that's not unusual. And the opposite clan is hired to do the ceremony. And it involves money. At the time when I knew about it, it involves money. So I don't know exactly how they do it today with gifts or whatever. But the opposite clan member is prepared with money, and they take one individual at a time, and they take the money and take the money and go across the forehead and say the name, and it has to be 4 times. I know in the white man's way, it's everything is 3 times. You got to do it 3 times, but among the Tlinkits, it's 4. So you do the name is Shakshani Keek, and then the audience repeats it. So that money is given to the opposite clan. So if it's an individual getting the name, as the name they said once, then the money is given to opposite clan of the person that's getting the name. So they take another bill 4 times, each time a new bill 4 times. And that makes it legal. Then they go to the next person and do the same thing. So I'll have to experiment and see how we can do it. And I think one of the discussions should be that to let everybody know that this is a virtual event and that the name is not legal until the family approves it. So if you already have approval from your clan, the clan that you want to be in, we should have find out how they feel if we do it in this event to make it legal, because we are going to do it right. Are there any comments or questions?
This is Kua. I have a question. What
Yeah.
is there a significance to the money on the forehead, or is it just a tradition?
Yeah, the significance is to show your wealth. So it could be $1, it could be $20. So, but that's only done if you, like you were born and you didn't have a name. It could be done publicly like that, and it could become part of an adoption. And for the gentleman that wanted to get a name and be adopted into a clan, I don't know if the work has been done for the Kagwantan to accept the adoption, and then can do the naming. The Kagwantan that you selected, do you know which branch it is?
I'm sorry, Shakshani Keek, are you talking to me? Carrie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sitka Kagwantan, I think, is where my grandfather was from.
Yeah, that was killer whale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big wealthy group. Very good, very good. So you better do $100. I'm teasing.
I was like, insert the anti-jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for the other, it could turn out to be just a nickname unless we go through the process of getting approval. So let's hear a little more about that.
This is Kua. I have a question regarding the what you were saying, the Kagwantan house. So the gentleman that's getting a name, you said he's Kagwantan, and you said killer whale. I guess I'm super new at our culture, so I'm learning. My family's from Sitka also. They're Kagwantan, but they're eagle wolf. So I guess I didn't realize that there could be more than one Kagwantan moiety in one area. Like for
Yeah,
example, Sitka. So his grandparents were from Sitka. Mine were from Sitka. So there would be a Kagwantan house with a killer whale on the front, and then a
uh,
different one with maybe an eagle totem on in the front.
the eagle kind of uh, covers all the eagle clans.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna say, they are eagle. I'm eagle. My grandfather was eagle. Uh, I
Oh,
have, I have seen him with the killer whale symbol on. But that moiety is eagle, and then he's halibut house. Uh, I didn't know that, but
yeah,
so yeah, cool. I think it's both.
yeah, I get confused. I got confused with a new terminology. Let's say, I used to ask an anthropologist, "Is that the moiety? Is that what you call the moiety?" I would call it a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right in mentioning that it's a house. Um, so
see, I didn't
I,
realize that. I didn't realize that.
yeah,
Like if he and I are talking and he's saying, "Oh, my grandparents were from Sitka. They were also Kagwantan. Oh, I'm Kagwantan," and that there was more than one house. Like for example, mine came from the box house, and if his came from Killer Whale House, I didn't realize that there's multiple houses.
yeah. The box house is brown bear. Brown bear.
Hmm. Okay.
So it confuses me when you say you're eco wolf. Uh, that's what the people in Canada would say.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I only said that because one of the aunties said wolf, and when I asked her, I don't understand. I I thought, how can you be two? And then I didn't really get a clear
It's,
understanding of,
it's either or.
okay,
It's either or. That's how come you're confused. Uh, but how if you belong to the box house, that's
yes.
the same the same stem as what I know about the box house being would be brown bear.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chief.
yeah.
Yeah, I also know that he was halibut house, but he was also hit sati of the gooch house of gooch hit. I don't know how that really works, but I've seen him with multiple in pictures.
Which house?
Gooch hit.
Wolf House.
I got some stuff ready that you gotta do in
Yeah,
my area.
the
If you're looking for a job.
dance group. I don't know how come I
they
couldn't
have to
figure out.
write you a check.
The dance group in Sitka holds very traditionally to the ceremonies and are very knowledgeable about that. I could check into that easily to be sure we're talking about the right things. But that's what I know. So, yeah.
Hey, Gunneth, Chief.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not surprised.
So
Yeah, they
cool.
called the house box house because after they built it, they looked at it and said, looks like a box.
Yeah.
So they called it box house. Some of the names they came up with was quite clever. like the one in Huna, the squeezed in between house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
just love native humor.
No
yeah,
icy milk.
yeah.
But that was enough for my cold cereal.
So if we have a name, any names picked out already, we should be working on that.
Okay. Does anybody in this group who's planning to get a name in our class exercise have a name picked out?
Hip father. Up, hip, up, hip, hip.
It sounds like we will help them, right? Shakhsani Keek if they don't have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can.
So a
I
name
think
that, uh-huh.
if we can hear from you on email, that helps us to talk about it when we're not in class, so we don't take up class time.
And we'll ask them to email us hobbies, things they like, things that fit their personality, right?
Yeah.
So I'll put my email in the chat and in our slides. This is so cool. Thank you, Shirley, for helping us do this. And then there's a question in the chat. Will we talk about adult names at all? Oh, did you want to add anything to your question?
It's something I don't. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
A little. You're a little quiet, but I can hear you.
Okay. Um, so it's something that my sister talked about a little.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I didn't necessarily understand it because I do have a Tlingit name, but she mentioned that was my child's name, and I didn't understand what that meant.
Maybe she meant that was like a baby name.
I mean, I did get it at a kuich when I was an infant,
Yeah,
and I don't know. To me, it seems selfish to have two names when people don't even have one name. But yeah,
yeah, that's no problem to the Clinkets. Yeah, there's no selfishness about it because it's decided by a group to honor. It's an honor to receive more than one name. So if as a child you had kind of a cute name, you can use that if you want, or get another one if that wasn't your legal Clicket name. So can you ask your sister what she meant by that?
yeah, I can.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Shirley, do you want us to mention anything else about the naming ceremony before we talk about the role of Nakani?
Yeah, the naming ceremony is not settled. So we're still working on that. So as you find out things, we can go along with that and see what name you want to use and if what your clan thinks about it or your house. But I can make contact with Sitka and see about the confusion about Town wolf, eco wolf. I heard that phrase before,
Mhm.
and it used to confuse me, but then I realized it just depends on where you're from.
Yeah, I would appreciate that because it is confusing and I didn't quite get a clear answer from the aunt who said that. And another thing that the same aunt said to me, so it's regarding my grandma's Tlingit name. I never knew it, and then they put it in her brochure when she passed away, and they wrote it in an English more form because they didn't know how to spell it, and it came out to be the name sounding like this, Orange Kahini. And when I told my aunt, hey, I think that I found my grandma's Tlingit name, and I said it, and she said, no, that's not a Tlingit name. And I just kind of was puzzled. And she said, maybe it's a nickname.
It's like a nickname. Orange Kahini is orange juice.
Yes, she had red hair when she was little,
Oh,
so maybe they called her Orange Juice.
Oh,
So it kind of confused me. So there's um when she said that's not a Tlingit name.
yeah.
So
It's a pet name.
okay.
Yeah.
So
It could become a Tlingit name.
yeah,
Just,
that kind of confused me because I was thinking, well, why isn't it considered a Tlingit name?
yeah, because it's a pet name, but could become, just from constant use, could
Mm-hmm.
become a
Okay.
real name.
mm,
And is it because of the fact that it's a silly word that has to do with her hair?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Gonna
Cute. That's cute.
it is cute.
Yeah.
choose.
And it's not orange, it's oranges.
How do you say it properly?
Orange. Oranges Kahini.
Oh, just
Orange
kidding.
juice.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, gonna cheat for her for calling it a cute name. Since she's
Yeah.
not here to tell you thank you. Okay, thank you for that information. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Practice that oranges Kahini. Oranges.
Anjish Kahini.
Uh-huh.
Anjish Kahini. I was about to say gracias because I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
I meant gonna cheese.
Ah,
Okay. I think unless we have something else on chat.
let me check. Mm. Yeah, just joined the discussion and she was just asking if we're talking about the eagle wolf discussion. If she said southeast uses wolf instead of eagle.
Southeast.
Yeah, Southeast Alaska.
Uh, I always thought that it was a term used more by Canadian Tlingits.
Oh,
That's the way I used to hear it.
yeah.
Yeah. We're all learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can check into that.
Yeah.
I'll check with Sitka and see what they say.
Hmm. That was the last question in the chat.
Okay.
Am I able to talk?
Yeah. Welcome.
I'm Canadian too.
Very much most of the clan system in Canada, or especially in the north, I know, are wolf or crow. And so, which you talk about, very much related to also when they're Tlingit inland as well. So being from the Crow clan, I'm also from, then I fall under the clans that usually end in an, you know, like mine is Deshiton, right? So that way, and then the ones that are in the Wolf clan also fall under where it's a Daklawadi, right? That type of, with the different pronunciation. Very much in Canada, a lot of the Tlingit language is being has been lost, and getting back by a lot of the information, like what we're doing right now, and getting it from you, and very much like when you talked about having the naming ceremony, that's why I gave you my name, Shageakla, and it is was given to me in a ceremony, very much like that. My mom was white. My First Nation father was First Nation, a full breed. And because your mother was white, you would lose that and you would have to be adopted into the clan. So very much that's with me, but most of my cousins and relatives came under the Wolf clan and Ducklawady, and because it was from their mother, so it was very maternal, because it was from their mother, they didn't have to be adopted in, but but I did because I had a white mom. So that's very much what's happening with ours as well. And just to make it just, it's so different, but a lot of the information that you're bringing forth is very much connected to what a lot of the Tlingit inland is learning, because that's where they come. My grandmother is actually from Angoon and was left Angoon, went to Klekwan and into the Tagish which is in the Yukon, Canada. So, but that's where she ended up. So we ended up more in southern Shoshone land. So I'm also southern Shoshone and Tlingit, and then a bunch of other stuff that my mom was. So I'm a Heinz 57, they'd call it. I was also going to ask one more question. And if I wrote it in the chat, I was named as a little girl, but I think it might be Southern Shoshone, but it very much sounds Tlingit. It says Watka. It's a WHATKL, and it says good speaker. But I just want to make sure, and ask around, and nobody knows that name, and nobody knows what it is. So I think this is a really good place to bring it, to see if you know about that. Gunishish, thank you for hearing me out.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that. So interesting to listen to your migration of your mom. Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the clans that were in Angoon, the people up there at Teslin, I remember, they all had the same clans. So that was, and also the Tlingit they spoke really sounded a lot like Angoon. So the name Shagita, that was a name that was in Huna. I know, I remember that. Let's see, who is she? Shagita. I'll have to kind of, the name came across to me, and I can kind of visualize who she is.
So I was told when I was adopted, it was actually given to me by an individual, I think former chief from Huna, and it was after talking to my family, and what it meant was the mother of a lake on top of a mountain. That's what I was told.
Yeah. Tla is money, mother of Sha is mountain.
Oh,
Beautiful name. And I know that she was quite uh, well known, not just in Huna, but by other people, other clans. So she was very involved in everything. So I kind of remember her.
It is Jeesh. I was very honored to receive that as well because I've done so much in the Yukon as well for trying to bring back our culture.
Yeah,
So it is Jeesh.
mhm.
yeah. Keeping her name is quite a job. So
The first one you mentioned, what, or what, I haven't heard it before and I'm not sure what language it's in, but it's really
What-
beautiful.
what is it?
It's let me move my screen. WHATKL. What?
They don't have a W, so
Hmm.
it would be an M.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
told it was like wak, wak, wak,
ugh,
something
Uh,
like that. So, but I was a kid then,
yeah,
so I don't know. Okay.
yeah. It's an M. In Canada, it would be an M.
mhm. Unless it's a Southern Shoshone name, which she also has in her lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
So, how much time do we have now to talk about the
We
Nakani?
we have 20 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
So the Nakani role is they have a lot of responsibilities, but we wanted to share with you guys that speech making is not necessarily one of them. So what they do is important in the ceremony, but everyone will practice what the Nakani says to learn, but it's more of a interpersonal conversation when they go house to house to invite individuals to the kli'ik. Shirley, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, he or she, from what I heard from Edna, is it could be today. It could be a she. I never saw any woman. I didn't see any women having that job. But they knock on the door and they say, "You are invited." You do a eek, and then he goes into detail about what to bring. Steak, shot, kuka, uh, at different things like that you might want to bring to the party. So it's a wonderful kind of a thing they should do today. And you don't have dishes or paper plates to throw away. It's all done. They take home their dirty dishes. So it's quite a description of what, but he would go through the whole process of what to bring, even though with the number of parties we had every year, that it's the same thing. They still go through that. And the time is given.
Mhm.
Uh, after that, I think it was to help with the seating arrangements, make sure that the council chief are seated in the place of honor. And I was kind of surprised that Edna said that today the chiefs have the front row. And that's quite a reverse from what I used to experience. So maybe it's something that we need to talk about. And it sounded like, from the short description that Edna gave, is the because of the chiefs sitting in front to get the full attention, that the people in the back didn't get very much, which never happened at the real party. They would serve the council chief members first to honor them, but everybody, they didn't get as much as the chiefs, but they got quite a bit because they were right there in the front row. So I don't know which you think is more honorable, to have the chiefs sitting in the front row, or also, I think, this is my opinion, that if you're sitting in the back row, it's like being in school, you pick the back seat so you don't have to pay much attention. So, I think having the chiefs in the back row, people are forced to try to imitate them and, give the honor during the speeches and stuff. Because the chiefs, when it was time for them to speak, would come forward to speak, not all the way to the front, because they weren't talking to the guests, to the people that are invited. They're talking to the hosts. So there was a space available for them to step forward to speak.
So the Nakani will decide the seating arrangements.
Seating arrangement, and also when it's time for the naming ceremony, he could pick the person to do the naming and arrange for them to come forward and have the money available. No, the people that are getting the names are responsible for the money.
Oh.
But today I didn't clarify that with Edna. If in the naming ceremony, instead of money, maybe they can do gifts. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out.
Okay.
And I think the Nakani is also responsible for the serving. Have the boys carry the heavy stuff and the girls to serve it. But I'm wondering, at the end of the party, one of the really fun things that they used to do is soapberry dance. In today's parties, I noticed that the blueberries also can be used.
Oh.
During that time, people bring out their containers if they brought a jar for some berries or a pot to put it in. But they all the guests stand, and the host dances in with the berries, whether it's soap berries or blueberries, what they call blueberry potlatch blueberries. uh, then they have a scoop, and they scoop it up while they're dancing. It's really crazy.
Oh,
And the audience, the guests are dancing to get what they want from the berries, you know. They have the containers and they're holding it out while they dance.
oh,
Yeah. And it's really a fun part of the dance.
oh.
So the Nakani
Oh, they're kind of
uh,
11
will
already.
make sure
The number's going up.
that things are being served and who is serving.
Mhm. Mm. Cool. So they kind of coordinate all the different parts of the ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay,
They kind of make sure that there's somebody to do the job.
okay.
And I think the ravens, how many ravens do we have today?
Can you guys put up your hand if you're a raven? One. Looks like just one out of 11 people. Oh, two, three, three
Two,
people.
I'm Raven. I've got too much stuff on my screen to find
Oh,
the emojis.
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So
and
4,
you, and you, Anna.
and I'll stand with the ravens. That would be 5 of us.
Yeah. So that's 4. And so I don't know if we want to have a candidate discussion now, or what do you want to do? How can we do this?
Well, the ravens are hosting, and so our Nakani will be an eagle, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll select a Nakani amongst ourselves on the raven side. And we can choose between our eagles. So there's Kua, Kayak Kaudichat, Seiki, Aug, Shaksanikik, Kaya, and Felina. And just so everybody knows, as a reminder, whoever is selected as a Nakani will have a few sentences that they'll say to introduce or to invite each person to the party. But for our learning purposes, we will all learn their speaking part and we'll all practice it. And in a ku'i, Shirley, do people ever volunteer to be the Nakani or are they selected?
Never.
No. Okay. So we need to pick somebody. And what kind of things help the host decide on who will be the Nakani?
Relationship, status, might have had experience already as a Nakani, I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I never was really involved. All I knew is what they picked a Nakani, and maybe Edna could have helped us with some of that,
Okay.
unless Paul Marks is on. Is he online with us?
No, not today. But
Yeah.
I could email him.
Yeah. How
Okay.
about the 4 of you look into this and email each other so
Okay.
that we don't have to sit here and wait while you decide who. And
Okay.
it should be kind of unknown who you pick, or you just select them.
Yeah.
I could talk to Edna again today and Paul. Let's see. I was hoping
So,
he would
go ahead.
show up.
Yeah, it's okay. So everybody who is on our Raven or Crow list, can you please put your email address in the chat and I'll send you a group email. Thank you.
Can you add Alicia to that list? She's
I'll,
on Katie as well.
oh, Alicia, okay, thank you. So I'm gonna grab all your email addresses and list. Thank you guys.
Question, how to get it away from like a direct message? How do I get it to all of you?
If you go into the bottom of the chat box, it'll give you a drop-down menu highlighted in blue, and you can select meeting group chat
Oh,
and it'll give it to everybody.
got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Gracias.
Ah, thanks. So I have 3. If you guys want to add your emails, you can. Otherwise, I'll start with the 3 we have. See. So I'll send a group email after class and we'll decide by Tuesday who our Nakani will be. Does that sound okay, Shirley?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, if I find out anything from Paul Marks or Edna, I'll let you know.
Okay. And you also mentioned I know we only have 6 minutes left of class, but we need to select a day for our party. Should we address that now or make time for it on Tuesday?
Yeah, we still have the menu to develop the menu for
Okay.
the party.
Okay.
So we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is fun. Select Nakani.
This is Kua. I have a quick
Uh-huh.
question. In
Yeah.
general, how long of a time duration is the entire gathering, the actual gathering? Is it a couple days or is it like 10 hours?
you mean the old method?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be all 24 hours. But of course, because of the modern day method, we only have an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
So
nowadays, if you're attending one, how long does it usually last now? if you're attending.
Now, I remember Edna mentioning that people had to rush in order to catch the ferry. It's like the big city folks saying, I have to catch the train,
Mhm.
so I think what we might consider is if we can't do it in 1 hour, to let it run over to the next day to finish up. Because I think we got some really fun things to do. And if we try to squeeze it in, it might not. If it can be done in the 1 hour, then that's fine. But the timing, I think we'll have to be like actors to get. Okay, it's your turn. May say something.
Yeah, we'll have to do a screen that says 1 hour later.
Yeah,
Have a narrator.
later.
Yeah, later that day.
What's it called? Ziagin.
Ziagin.
Yeah, Juan and Issa way.
That's a better one.
Yeah. At some point.
Das heißt, Rudisku
Da saat we disco.
is you don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing. We don't call it, we don't know what we're doing party. Yeah, I do want to mention something. The introduction that we do in class is a formal introduction. So if you're attending somewhere and all of a sudden I want to introduce my niece and give her a minute to speak, you get up there, you have to, that's one thing you can fall back on, is the formal introduction. But the informal introduction is between two people as to what you can say is different. So the formal introduction is what we're going to go with, because that's the one that usually happens.
For my walk. Oh, and to get some milk.
And I think it is almost expected. So you better have that in your memory, so you don't get up there and say, "Oh no, what a day! I missed something." So we will give you what to say when it's your turn to speak. And you can say, Shawadaneki, Shakaka, ladies and gentlemen, my name is, you can go on from there. Then at the end of your introduction, we can give you some other things to say. That hasn't been determined yet, but you will make more of a speech out of it than just your introduction.
Okay. We can share more about that too. I wrote down notes that Shirley taught to me during our prep period.
Yeah.
Okay, Satini. Johan, that's it. We're at time at Kaudikit. But thank you for participating today. You make it fun for us to learn together. So Gunaschish.
Goodness cheese.
Yeah, we had some good laughs.
Yeah.
Gunashti
Ah,
Suye Kwasati.
okay.
Cheese.
Ah.